All right, welcome everyone. Today we're jumping into one of the most important concepts in all of modern business: communicating value. And look, this isn't just about making a sale, it's really about making a connection. It's that little bit of magic that can turn a simple product into a brand that people absolutely love. So, let's kick things off by tackling a problem that every single one of us experiences every day and one that every brand has to struggle with. And that's the problem of just trying to get your message out there in the 21st century. I want you to just think about your day so far. Seriously, how many ads, how many brand posts have you already scrolled right past? Has to be dozens, maybe even hundreds, right? And most of them, they were just noise, they didn't stick. That right there, that's the biggest challenge for any marketer working today. I mean, the sheer volume of information that's flying at us all the time, it creates this constant battle for our attention. Marketers actually call this noise, and it makes it almost impossible for any one single message to cut through. It's kind of like trying to whisper a secret in the middle of a huge, loud concert. So how do the really smart brands do it? How do they cut through all that chaos? Well, they don't just shout louder. No, they get smarter. They use a really powerful, really disciplined strategy to speak with total clarity and consistency. In a world where everyone is shouting, they decide to sing one single note, just perfectly. And this quote from Lisa Allocott, it just nails it. She calls it a unified voice. I like to think of it as creating this surround sound effect for your brand. The idea is that every single message you put out, no matter where it is, it's all reinforcing the same core idea. And there's an official name for this strategy, of course. We call it Integrated Marketing Communications, or just IMC for short. The key word here, the most important one, is integrated. This is all about the strategic coordination that makes sure your big TV ad, your little Instagram post, and even the box your product comes in are all telling the exact same compelling story. Now, to make this all practical, marketers have a framework they use called the PISO model. It might look a little complex, but it's really just a toolkit for organizing all the different ways a brand can talk to people. So P is for paid media, your traditional ads. E is for earned media. That's when a newspaper or a blogger decides to write about you. S is for shared media. That's all the buzz you create on social platforms. And O is for owned media. That's the stuff you control completely, like your own website. A really great campaign, it doesn't just pick one, it masterfully weaves all four of these together. So, to see how all this theory actually comes to life, let's look at an absolute masterclass in IMC. We're going to break down one of the most successful tourism campaigns in history from a country that completely perfected this one-voice strategy: New Zealand. The magic of this whole campaign really came down to one simple but totally genius addition. The original idea was just pure New Zealand, which is good, right? It's fine. But then, an ad director added 100%. And that single word, it transformed a slogan into this powerful, unforgettable promise. And it became the foundation for everything else they did. And this is where you can really see the integrated part of IMC in full swing. See, they didn't just run a few commercials. They built an entire communication ecosystem. From their website to their PR efforts to their social media, every single point of contact was carefully designed to deliver on their one core promise: 100% pure New Zealand. So at the very heart of this whole thing was their website. Think of it as their central owned media hub. This was their command center. It gave them a direct channel to connect with potential tourists and to completely control the story they wanted to tell, all while providing real value before anyone even booked a ticket. Next, they brilliantly used public relations to get that priceless earned media. What they did was they invited journalists and influencers to come and experience New Zealand for themselves. And the result? You get these credible third-party stories that are just infinitely more powerful and more believable than any paid advertisement could ever hope to be. And for their shared media, they did something truly genius. The Good Morning World campaign basically empowered everyday New Zealanders to share their own videos of their little slice of the country. This effectively turned the entire population into their marketing department, generating this constant stream of genuine, authentic content. So the big question is, did all this actually work? Well, the results kind of speak for themselves. The firm Interbrand estimated the value of the 100% pure New Zealand brand name alone at over $13 billion US. That's the incredible power of speaking with one clear, unified voice. Okay, so seeing those results is one thing, but how do you actually build a campaign like that from the ground up? Let's pull back the curtain for a second and look at the playbook, the strategic process that takes a campaign from just a simple idea to a huge global success. Okay, I know this flowchart looks a little intense, but don't worry about all the tiny details. Just think of it as the strategic blueprint. Notice how it flows logically, right, from left to right. It starts with campaign planning, moves into the creative and media strategy, and then it ends with production and execution. Every single successful campaign follows a structured process just like this one. Every single great campaign starts right here with what we call the client brief. This is the absolute foundation. Before anyone even thinks about writing a headline or designing a logo, this document gets everyone, the client, the ad agency, on the exact same page. What are our goals? Who are we trying to talk to? What's the budget? If you get this step wrong, the entire campaign is basically built on sand. So, if the client brief defines the what, then the creative brief defines the how. This document takes all that business strategy and it translates it into an inspiring guide for the creative team. Its whole purpose is to spark that one core message, that one big idea that will finally cut through all the noise. Okay, so after all of that, let's get to the most important question of all. Why does any of this matter? What's the one thing you should really take away from all this? It's this. Great, lasting brands aren't just built on having better features or a lower price, they're built on trust. And in our incredibly noisy world, the single best way to build that trust is by telling a consistent, believable story everywhere, across every single channel. That is the ultimate power and really the entire point of IMC. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. As you go about your week, start really paying attention to the brands you see every day. And ask yourself, what story are they telling me? Is it consistent? Is their story the same on their ads, on their app, on their packaging? And the most important question of all, do I actually believe it? If you start looking for the strategy, I promise you, you'll start to see this masterclass in action all around you.